Getting set to set sail, 150 laps here. We'll have an onboard look for you from Fred Vordermeyer's 04 car, the Davies Trucking Chevrolet. Vordermeyer starts pretty deep in the field today, back in 25th spot out of West Hempstead, New Jersey. So he'll give us a good look at the action. There'll be plenty of it all over the half-mile racetrack here at Stafford Motor Speedway. Ready to go green. Glad to have you with us on speed. We're underway. Stefanik in that silver 21 to the lead as they head into one.
You saw him fry the tires a little bit, Rick, there. When he jumped on the throttle, the rear tires broke loose, but he did a good job.
Osfeld tucks into second. The sun low in the sky. This is the second half of a double bill here in Stafford. Busch North Series of NASCAR ran earlier in the day, but there's plenty of rubber down on the racetrack. They settle in single file. Nevin George, who pulled the #1 starting spot, rides third behind Osfeld and Mike Stefanik. Everyone still kind of searching for a place to race here and warm those tires up.
Yeah, it's early. They're still letting the pressure build up in the tires right now, just feeling what the car wants. And like I say, I mean, now that they're getting single file, it's a little bit more comfortable right now.
Osfeld running second, right behind Stefanik. Stefanik in the 21, one of the great stars here in the Northeast, of course. Two times, 1997 and 98, he scored an unprecedented double. He won the Modified Tour and the Busch North Championships all in the same season. Then he went Craftsman Truck and Busch Series racing down south. Now he's back home. He's as fast as ever.
If you really think about what he accomplished them 2 years with all the logistics about traveling and getting here and there and the flights, planes, trains, automobiles, I mean, he had a phenomenal year, and it was really, really busy for him.
Everybody's single file. Now this track has been repaved, but this is really the place that was kind of the birthplace of the Modified Tour back in the 60s. This is where all the big stars have run over the years. In the field today, Dave Bergman, his dad, Bug Stevens, was the name he raced under. He was the dominant force here for a long time. There's the 3 car being driven by Jerry Marquis this year. That's the car number and the team that the late Freddie DeSaro won so many races with here at Stafford Motor Speedway.
You're right, Rick. I mean, you just look at the history of those 2 cars alone. I mean, this NASCAR division was NASCAR. I mean, it was the first division that they had. Bobby Ellis. I mean, the names that have been brought up and through this division are incredible.
Very high horsepower, 650 to 700 horses, wide tires. The only open-wheel division in NASCAR that constitutes a regional touring series. A little further back, guys trying to find a place to race. There's the Pastriak car, the 75, trying to make a move. There's the 16 car doing battle, trying to work his way toward the front a little bit. Got a glimpse of Jamie Tomato Kopech in the 16. Here's Vordermeyer. Look at that hood vibrate.
I know. Look at that shot. Watch when he comes down at this left front. See the left front A-frame moving there in that tire right there? That is a cool shot. And those guys aren't afraid to use that little chrome horn, that bumper right up ahead of them. I mean, you really don't want to hit them going into the corner, but they're not afraid to use it going down the straightaway.
That's Rene Dupuis in the 25, just in front of Vordermeyer. Dupuis, a graduate of mini modified racing, 4-cylinder cars here in the Northeast. She's run the big block cars for several seasons now. And there you get a look at car number 50, young Todd Zegedy from Richfield, Connecticut. That's the Haynes Construction Ford. A lot of people, Jeff, think he's going to be the next big star in this series. Rookie's only, 25 years old?
I know, it's just incredible. I mean, that car owned by Bob Cuneo and Company, it's a Ford powered, that's a Ford modified right there. And I'll tell you, that thing runs.
Of the top 20 or so cars, one of only 2 Fords in the series. Zegedy in the top 8 in points, just 81 back of the lead in his rookie year. He's got a win already. Here he is to the inside of Nevin George. They touch, and he gets by for third.
I'll tell you, though, Rick, that is the preferred groove. What he just did right there, that little slip when you get into the corner and slide up a little bit, you really don't want to. I know all these guys say 8 tires corner better than 4, but you don't want to do this with the open wheel cars.
Really, really gambling if you touch in one of these race cars at these speeds. Now, they're lapping this place at around 90 miles an hour, but on the straightaway, you're running 120, 125 at the end of the straight.
Yeah, I'd say right around there. I mean, this track, for a half-mile track, you're getting around here at probably like low 18-second bracket qualifying and probably low 19-second racing.
So Zegedy sits third, Nevin George is fourth, and there's that blue 31, Tony Ferranti Jr. from Franklin Square, New Jersey. Great racing family. The late, great Jim Hendrickson won so many features for the Ferrantis over the years. They've had a bunch of great drivers in their cars.
I'll tell you, Tony is such a gentleman. I mean, he's been racing in this division for an awful long time and just a really, really nice guy.
Got a problem. Caution starting to wave. Trouble up in turn 3. Field gets on the brakes. There's Marquis. And on lap 13, our first caution. Frank Rocco spins that 14 car that Tim Airy normally drives. Gets that Pontiac pointed in the right direction. Rocco from Cheshire, Connecticut, qualified that car 44th. Took a provisional to make the show. The independent racing wheels Pontiac gets it pointed in the right direction.
I'll tell you, I really don't know what happened there, but You know, if you get into the gas too quick with these cars, I mean, here we go, top right. He did it all on his own. I mean, if you get in the center of the corner and you just tromp on that gas pedal, your stagger's a little bit fat or whatever, them things will just spin right around like that.
So much power, so much torque in these 700 horsepower motors. Under caution for the first time today. We'll be back here at Stafford Motor Speedway, the NASCAR Featherlite Modified Series. 3 races to go in the season, getting ready to go green after the first caution. There's Chuck Hosfeld in Garbarino's 4. Art Berry's 21 have the restart pole. Mike Stefanik, that is a fast race car. Steffi certainly knows his way around this place. Big question mark, Jeff Fuller. Can you make it all the way on fuel and tires? What do you think?
Oh, boy, you're asking the wrong. I'm sure some of them are going to gamble on it, but that's up to the crew chiefs.
We talked to Stefanik about that earlier.
At night, you know, this place gets slippery and guys need to pit because they kind of wear their tires out sliding around. But in the daytime, track's been staying pretty tight. You'll have to watch our lap times, really. I'm not sure if we're going to pit or not. I would say we probably will. But, you know, I mean, in a rarity, if we were leading and our times really didn't back up a lot, we might stay out and try to ride it out.
Well, that's one way to look at it. Tour points leader Eddie Flemke Jr., of course, a guy with a lot at stake here as we get to the home stretch of the season. Trying to figure out if Flemke, who is certainly a veteran car builder, the son of a legend in this form of racing, try to figure out what his plans are today. Eric is in the Flemke pit.
When we talked to your driver before this race, he said he didn't think he was going to pit. What do you say? Are you guys going to have to come in today?
We don't know yet. We're going to play it by ear. Car seems really good now. It ticked loose, but I think it's coming to us. We should be all right. We'll make that call later on. I don't know.
With the points lead, do you race any differently, or do you stay as aggressive as always?
No, we always come here to win the pole and win the race. Let the points come the way they come.
We'll see what happens. Thank you, Alan.
Well, they missed one half of the combination this weekend. Flemke qualified 3rd quick. He sits 8th right now as we get ready to go green once again. Fast race cars at the front of the field on lap 19, 131 to go.
This is what a driver hates to see, is these double file restarts. I mean, you just hope that everybody is a little bit courteous and does what they're supposed to do.
The thoughts of a former... contact! The 50 car, Zegedy gets into Nevin George going down into 3. He spins, keeps it off the wall, though. Misses the Armco.
See,
big scramble.
That's what we were talking about before, Rick. These Nerf... Oh, look at past that. This... You know, these Nerf bars, see that Nerf bar right there?
Sure.
Right there. All right, these tires, they're going this way. Another car hits that tire that's going this way. A lot of times what you'll see is the car will go up and over them. Those Nerf bars right there, that was a perfect angle, are lined up with your right side tires. And really, you don't even want to lean. He's got something broken, the left front tire out of ball joint or something.
Charlie Pasternak with his left front headed in a wrong direction there, and you can see the drag on that chassis. There's some sparks shooting up from underneath the car on the left side. Here's another look. Zegedy in the 50 behind Stefanik. He and George just get into each other going down into 3.
It almost looked, Rick, like the 50 car hit the guy in front of him, or the guy got on the brake a little bit, and that's what really started that.
Here's a look from Fred Bordermeyer's vantage point down in the corner. There were 8 or 10 cars that tangled up and went up toward the wall. Bordermeyer able to stay low and stay out of trouble there. So a couple of cars will head to pit road after that scramble. That's Marquis in the blue number 3 and the 77 of John Blewett the 3rd, both coming to the attention of their crews. And Jeff Fuller, both these guys kind of in the middle of that scramble of cars up in 3.
Yeah, that was kind of a jam session chain reaction type deal. That see his bumpers up in the air. There's something wrong with that right front too. I mean, he's got something bent there, Rick.
Blewett in the 77, certainly a strong contender. Both of these guys qualified kind of mid-pack here this weekend. Eric Freed is down in the 3 pit.
An early pit stop for Jerry Marquis. The veteran pulls it in. He has, I'll call it, slight damage, left rear. And they're also looking under the right front. Drivers have been complaining that cars have been a little loose coming out of the corners. And this is a little bit more work than just a tire change and a fuel stop for Jerry Marquis.
Well, at least they can still get fuel in the car. That's not a problem. But when that car was coming down pit road, something's hurting the front. It was sagged down on the front, and something's hurting the steering on the right front, too.
So the Bowler crew over the wall. Of course, Lenny Bowler started this team many, many decades ago. He passed away a couple of seasons back. His son oversees the car now. His son was quite a driver for a few years as well. He stepped out of the car to own the family team. Back at Stafford Motor Speedway here on Speed, the NASCAR Featherlite